alafu tena kwa pamoja mpaka tusuluhishe ile mambo ambayo yanatukumba sisi kama wananchi wa hapa jiji la Nairobi. Kwa hivyo hii sio mwisho, huu ni mwanzo. Niko na mambo mawili matatu na ningependa kusema kabla sijajibu maswali. Ya kwanza ni kwa maafisa wa serikali, polisi na NGAO officers wenye wako hapa na wale wanasimamia idara tofauti, hata wa county. Inabidi tujue ya kwamba ijapo tunajaribu sana kuomba welfare yetu ikuwe mzuri, tunang'ang'ania ofisi, tunataka HII, tunataka mambo ya mobility ya magari, tunataka promotions, tunataka transfer, tunataka mambo mengi ambayo tumesema hapa. Tujue kwamba sisi ni baadhi ya Wakenya wachache sana ambao wako na bahati ya kwamba tuko na kazi. We are employed Kenyans. We are among the few Kenyans who earn a salary. Na ingawa tunafanya hii mambo yote, tunasema chief anasema nimeumia hapa nini, tunajua pia kwamba wewe chief na wewe askari juzi tu, wakati especially nyinyi ma chiefs, kwa sababu askari wenye wako hapa ni wale waliandikwa karibu 20-30 years ago. Hawa ni wakufika OCS imechukua muda. Hata nyinyi ma chief muliandikwa kazi juzi tu. Hata wengine wako na 2 years kwa ofisi. Na siku yenye ulienda interview uliambiwa, sasa bwana chief, hii kazi umeomba, hakuna gari, hakuna ofisi. Kwa sababu ulikuwa na interview na watu 20, wewe ukasema mimi sihitaji gari yoyote, mimi ni mtu ya kutembea kwa mguu kwa mtaa. Kaambiwa ofisi, ukasema ofisi ni ya nini, na mimi pahali nitakuwa kama chief, hapo ndio kuna nini? Ofisi. Sasa ile interview panel ikaona huyu ni more creative, wakakupatia kazi. Wale 19 wakaenda nyumbani. Wakati uliposhika tu ushukani, kwanza kusema hii ofisi gani haina, hii kazi gani haina ofisi, haina gari, haina motorbike. So we need to appreciate that even as we ask for more, we are among the privileged few Kenyans who earn a salary na uko na kitu ya kukula na uko na insurance cover. However small it is, you are among the privileged few. Therefore, tuchukue kazi kwa bidii. Tufanye, just go back to your senses and ask yourself, kwa nini uliomba hii kazi? Kwa nini uliomba na ulijua pesa ni kidogo? Kwa nini uliomba na uliona shida iko mingi? Ikuwe kwamba, I hope that was your dream when you asked for the job. And if it was not, you need to reorient yourself. Ujiambie, hii kazi ni ya watu, ni ya utumishi. Hakuna salary italipa chief, ama hakuna salary italipa police officer. Because ile kazi anafanya ni beyond the salary that are being. So it's important to have something else beyond the salary. You must have a calling. Ukuwe na ile mwito ya kutumikia watu. That is very important. Ukuwe kwamba kwa kichwa yako kila wakati ujue kwamba uko hapo kwa niaba ya wale ambao tuko la Kabeti na wanajua shida zao za usalama na huduma zinaenda kutatuliwa. Sisi ndio wale ambao tuko na ufunguo ya kuweza kubadilisha maisha yao. Tukiketi hivi, always remember, as an OCS, always remember that somebody is going to sleep believing that him and his family are safe because with utmost diligence, and you must be a diligent public servant. That is why you need to reorient, to relook at yourself. Every day ukiamuka, jiulize, hii kazi niko nayo, nimeachieve nini leo kubadilisha maisha ya mtu? If I was to write my CV and enumerate the successes I have achieved today, what have I achieved today? If you are keeping a journal, you should be able to, the evening before you sleep, you say, today I helped a widow restore her house. I helped so-and-so to restore her land. I did these things. And you know, that should really drive you. Service delivery should drive you. Number 2, you must know your job. Work hard to understand the job you have. Akuna, an answer of I don't know is not an answer. Kuna chief ajui nini inaendelea kwa location yake? Kuna OCS ajui nini inaendelea kwa division yake? Wapi chief mwenye ajui nini? Na assistant chiefs wenye wako hapo. Yeah? Chiefs mnanisikiza? Hapana. Chiefs mnanisikiza? Chiefs mnanisikiza? Oh. Haya getini. It's important for all of us to take this job seriously. Elewa, lazima ujue SHA ni nini, housing ni nini, university funding ni nini. Wale vijana walikuwa hapo wanaongea kuhusu bursary. I like a chief alikuwa anasema help should be devolved. There should be someone who explains these issues. Madam Chief, ama it was assistant chief, hakuna mwingine ni wewe. Wewe sasa uelewe help inafanya kazi ya aje, the new funding model inasaidia aje. Wewe ndio una recommend watu wa kusaidiwa, wewe ndio recommend wale watapewa bursary, wewe ndio unaandikia watu kupata ID. Don't take your job for granted. Understand your job. Na usiende mkutano ukiulizwa swali kwa baraza useme sijui. Ati uko bunge wa mwananchi umeulizwa kitu unasema ujui. Chief, tafuta njia ya kujua. Hata kama ujui, tumia ujanja. Tumia ujanja. Enda Google. Ama uende YouTube. Sikize rais, sikia waziri wa health, sikiza wa education, sikiza wa nini. Add yourself knowledge. Usikue mtu tu unasikia porojo kwa social media. Ati uko TikTok, kucheka, kufanya nini. There is also opportunity for you utumie. There is a lot of open source for information. Learn. Ukienda baraza fulani na uone ujui kitu na umeulizwa, unasema that thing county commissioner alikuwa amesema kitu, lakini let me confirm, I will tell you in the next day. Hata kama ujui ni nini imeulizwa. Na kama ukiona unaenda mkutano na ujui chochote, wasomi ni wengi Nairobi, hata wengine hawajaandikwa kazi. Tafuta kijana moja, umpeleke yeye baraza, na uambie baraza hii, kabla sijaongea maneno mengi yenye niko nayo, niko na kijana hapa nataka waongeleshe madakika chache. Wakati kijana anaongea, wewe unaandika notes. Unaandika. Na ushamwambia yeye, take your time. Yeah? Ukiona ameharakisha unauliza watu, nani ako na maswali kwa hii kijana? Waulize. Ukimaliza unasimama unasema, nilikuwa na maneno mengi kuliko huyu, lakini kwa sababu masaa imeenda, tunaweza fanya kwa mkutano ujao. Ujanja, lazima ukue mjanja uelewe mambo mengi. Watu wakienda nyumbani wanasema hakuna chief kama huyu. Huyu chief, yani ule msaidizi wake anajua mambo na chief mwenyewe. Lakini sasa ukiwa mahali unajua wengi wenu unaulizwa SHA, hii SHA inafanya aje? Unaanza kusema mimi sijui, unajua hii mambo ya serikali, lakini nisipoteze kazi register tu. Hata raia wanajua huyu chief ni mkora huyu. Waziri akifika wanasema huyu chief anapinga serikali. So you need to find, you must, and that's for the OCSs, for all of us, update your knowledge. And that's why we are bringing back training, so that we can assist you to be up to date insofar as your training is concerned. Ya tatu, ningependa kusema kwenu ya kwamba ile shida inatuumiza sana, ya ukweli tu, tuambiane ukweli, inatuumiza as public servants, ni corruption. Na yenye inatuumiza zaidi, tumenormalize. It is normal. Yani imekuwa too normal. Nilikuambia kwa account nyingine, sitaki kusema wapi. Chief, me already have the intelligence report. So I came to the meeting. Nikasema haya chief ya mahali fulani ongea. Chief akaongea akasema hatusaidiwi chochote. OCS hatusaidii sisi kabisa. Kwa sababu hataki, hata juzi nilipigwa na watu ya pombe. Haya nikasema OCS ongea. OCS akasema exhibits yenye chief analeta apange vizuri. But the true story tulikuwa nayo tayari ni kwamba wote wanang'ang'ania nani ndiye atachukua pesa kwa wale wanapiga chang'aa. So OCS anaona nikikubalia huyu chief akuwe ndio kusema kupigana na pombe, yeye ndio ataonwa. So chief akienda operation ndio huyo chief akapigwa. Chief akienda operation, OCS anaambia mama Changa hakuna askari atakuja, nyoroshe yeye. So chief anaenda kunyoroshwa kwa huko, alafu akirudi anakuja kuripoti kwa police station. OCS ana record ya chief, anasema complain from the chief nini, na anakaa kidogo anaambia hata ule lete hata complaint yako. Ule mwingine lete complaint, anasema kuna chief alikuja kupiga mlango yangu na nyumba nini. So chief akiambiwa, akiuliza kwa nini ule mtu hajapelekwa kotini, anasema alikuwa pia na complaint. So chief atapelekwa kotini na huyo mwingine. If you do homework, una realize they were fighting over corruption. Yeah? Ule mzee wa matatu hapa alisema kabla hujaamuka asubuhi kwa Nairobi, kuna mtu wako barabara ashafanya hivi. Ukweli ama si ukweli? Ana makata, hakuna polisi hata anakataa hii ya traffic honestly. Unajua tunakubaliana tu wote kwamba tuko na shida hapo. And let me say this so that because I don't want to be misunderstood. Most of our traffic officers are doing a fantastic job. In fact, without them, Nairobi cannot move completely. And I say that because I am beneficiary. Kufunguliwa barabara saa zingine, I see them working very hard. Hata hawana time ya kuchukua bribes, wako tu roundabout. Ngoja wewe wacha vitina. Especially unaona Russia wa asubuhi na jioni, they are very busy. Roundabout wapi, sijui wapi. Nasikia hawa kwa radio call, ule anapigiwa anaambia kwa nini barabara umefunga Jogoo Road, umefanya. Unajua sasa mimi ni waziri. So I have a benefit of listening to them wakiongea. Lakini kuna wachache na ni hatari. Na ni hatari. Mtu akifika tu, lakini hata watu wa matatu wanajua. Akishuka hata aulizi makosa iko wapi. Because mtu wa matatu anajua ako na makosa mingi, akishuka tu hivi anafinya mkono, huyo anaenda, anafinya, anaenda. So si ati makosa ni ya polisi peke yake. Hata ule mzee wa matatu ujue we also have mistakes as people ya public. Tafuta gari yako ikuwe mzuri, weka properly mataa, weka all the regulations, beba watu ya kutosha, demand your rights. Ukimutu akikuja kuangalia gari yako wewe umerelax kwa gari because you know you have done the right thing. Corruption also is perpetuated by everybody trying to cut, shortcut. Ndio aweze akapata yenye anajihitajia. Lakini corruption ndio tumiza. Reporting something ni corruption. Going to do investigation, corruption. Mambo ya mashamba. Hii mashamba inatusumbua kwa Nairobi is kwa sababu ya corruption. Watu wanajua fake title, the nini title yenye inajulikana, case to be investigated, you have to give something. We need to deal with this issue. And from jukwaa la usalama, we have to find ways of reporting matters of corruption confidentially and dealing with it for those who are corrupt. I wish the IG was here now because we had agreed. Mtu akipatikana mambo ya corruption si hata anakuwa transferred to another place. Hiyo mtu akuwe dealt with, akiendanga aende. Ndio aende akuwe reformed huko mbele, whether it's kotini ama when you don't have a job. So corruption is really hurting us and we must face it. We cannot hide it. We are supporting our police officers, but we must deal with this issue of corruption. The last thing is teamwork. Shida kubwa hapa, again, nikirudi ile example nilileta, ni kukosana na teamwork. Napenda vile mmeongea wote hapa, and let's take criticism positively. Hii ukubwa haiwezi saidia kitu. Hata mimi nikiwa waziri hapa na nijifanye mimi ni bwana mkubwa na nitarau ma OCS. My success as a cabinet secretary is dependent on a small person who is a constable or a corporal or an OCS. It is important for all of us to respect each other. And once you understand, like one person said, that we can do a lot if we don't care who takes the credit. Because collectively, we will take the credit. We will change this Nairobi if it will not be about me. It will be about us. If we think about us as a team, we can be able to change it in Nairobi. If we can work with public, we can change Nairobi. Napenda vile mliongea, lakini sikubaliani na wewe ofisa ya county madam. Alikuwa anaitwa nani? Anaitwa? Anaitwa? Na? Nyangi, anaitwa Nyangi. Sikubaliani na wewe. Yeah, you may be right legally, but you don't have the right attitude. You see, ukizaa simama hapa na useme chief, mambo ya pombe sio yako, ukae pande yako, kila mtu akae pande yake. You know? Haitatusaidia even if it is your mandate. What is your problem? Kama mtu wako tayari kukusaidia kufanya kazi yako na anafanya vizuri, so unasema tu karibu ndugu yangu, tufanye pamoja, make sure that usichukue bribe. You see, the other thing which I agree with you is that some of the reasons why our police officers are targeting big clubs na NGAO officers is of course pesa. You know, badala ya kwenda kumwaga changa, anataka kule club kubwa. But the spirit should be, we should work together. You know, we should work together. And if we do so, tutawachana. And that's why, from this meeting, we must agree. All our DCCs wako hapa, please, many DCCs. Yeah? Let us make it a habit that county ward administrator, county enforcement officers, wakuwe part of our sub-county security team. Let us adopt the border group and the university leadership, the dean of students and the student leaders, responsible student leaders. Let's invite them for our sub-county security team. Let's not feel at sisi ni security, watu hivi wa matatu na boda hawezi kuja our meeting. If we do invite them, they will do our job and you will shine as a DCC. Yeah, you know the day you will have your meeting for separate issues, but let us make it a habit, reportable. Yeah, pass in our report. It should be reportable that at least in a quarter, the DCC or sub-county security team should have had a meeting with all stakeholders to discuss matters of security in their own sub-county. Please get in. This should be also de-escalated, taken down to the division, where the OCS and the ACC will also organize security meeting in the division, and that will carry more members of public. You see, our elders are ready to work with us, and we want to appreciate them. The Nyumba Kumi, the community policing, we will now fashion all that together in our report so that we have one entity that works with us in the grassroots level, and we see how to facilitate the meetings so that we can sort out these issues. Tumekubaliana jameni? Tuwachane na hii kuficha ati sisi ni security, nyinyi ni public. If something jukwaa la usalama should achieve is that everybody matters. There is no reason why regional commissioners should not sit down with the governor and plan matters of security and call a meeting of enforcement officers of county and national government officials in the county, and they discuss about the security of Nairobi. It's not a hidden thing. Tulitoka Nakuru juzi, niliona Governor Susan Kihika, who was our former colleague and Sakaja, calling a similar meeting after I left, where now she had more staff from county and she called all the NGAO officers and the police. And that is how it should be. For as long as the interest is to serve our nation, we must ensure that we work together. Tumekubaliana? Are we going to do so? Are we going to do so? Some of the OCSs who have succeeded have always involved the community. Na sometimes wakati tunapiga transfer kuna maandamano. Villagers wanaandamana. Na community naandamana sema OCS wetu asitoke because they know he has integrated with the local community. Now there are few things ya welfare mumesema. Number one, tumekubaliana mambo ya mobility, we are working on it. And that is vehicles for our NGAO officers, for our prisons officers, and our police officers. The procurement process is ongoing. We hope that we can complete soon. There has been itches. We want, in some cases, electric vehicles, and that will help us to make sure that we deal with the also issues of fuel, but the challenge is still working on the charging stations and so forth. That is being undertaken by the ministry, working together with Treasury, and we shall resolve that issue anytime soon. I know some of the officers are wanasafiri in a manner of indignity. Yeah. ACC anafika mkutano kwa bodaboda. Sina kweli namna hiyo. Kwa ule ACC Damaris aliongea hapa. Simeona ule mama ako hapo. Imagine huyo mama sasa anabebwa na nduthi kwa mkutano. Yenye watu ni gari kweli lakini sio ya ACC. Kwanza sisi mama amekaa hapo nyuma, alafu wewe unamwambia mama shika vizuri. Acha mambo yako. Imagine anamwambia atishika vizuri na akikataa anaweka speed na kufunga break. Sasa hakuna choice yenye vile anafanya. So credit to madam. Maybe Nairobi hata ni afadhali. Yeah, Nairobi ni afadhali kwa sababu it is easy, it is near. Yeah, in huko rural luko most of our SCCs wameumia and we are trying to see how we can solve that issue. Niliambiwa huko Makwiny kwamba na SCC moja alibebwa na nduthi na mzee wa nduthi alipoona mkutano imekaa like this akaweka sasa madoido akaangusha ofisa. Kofia ikaanguka. Ati mtu kwa mkutano akasema ndio ile serikali imeanguka. So we will work on the transport to make sure that we sort out that issue. On the issue of infrastructure, kama vile nilisema tumefanya designs. We will engage CDF, NGCDF, and also engage Parliament to see some budget to improve a good number of the police stations so that they are responsive, including making sure that we have CCTVs. There is a phenomenon that has come in yenye watu wanakufa kwa cell ya police station. We have to deal with that issue because it is not right that people who have already been apprehended by the police are being harmed in their own police station. We are going to make sure that transparency is achieved in the police station so that people are treated in a very humane manner. Kuna mambo ya uniform sasa ya officers, ya police, the design is almost complete and then the new uniform will be submitted. Most of you mlisema tunataka uniform ngumu inakaa vizuri yenye ikioshwa sio kama hii ya blue ina fade. So something is being worked out and that will be unveiled. Pia mliniambia interestingly kwamba even expectant officers hawananga uniform. Hiyo tulimaliza mpaka niliona chiefs juzi wakifaa uniform ya expectant chiefs wenye wako saizi training pale wanafaa uniform yao ya maternity dress. Very beautiful. Nitaenda ku unveil anytime soon. Pia uniform is going to be given at the sub-county level. Hii mambo hata isaidii Nairobi because nyinyi amsikii chochote. Nyinyi amjui. Mtu alikuwa anatoka Mandera kuja kuchukua uniform hapa. Until 2 months ago when I ordered that all uniform ipelekwe to sub-county level, iende ipeanwe kwa chiefs kwa huko locality. So that has been changed. Mambo ya bubesema mambo ingine ya welfare yenu, transfer policy, nilisema we work on the transfer policy and the promotion policy. Our chiefs when you wamekaa for very long without promotion, we are discussing your scheme of service with Public Service Commission so that they can open up the ceiling. Nimeambiwa there is a ceiling within which the entry point ya chiefs, now also there is a ceiling that blocks most of you. The good thing about Nairobi, you can transfer, you can promote a chief and then transfer to elsewhere. You can do all that. And we are going also to ensure that all the chiefs wenye wamesoma na wako na relevant qualification, soon tukitangaza mambo ya ACC, we'll move some of them to become ACCs so that it can open door for us to employ also other chiefs kutoka hapo chini. Kwa mambo mengine yenye mmesema, mmeongea mambo ya village elders, we will not wait for law. Tumetengeneza tu cabinet memo. Once the cabinet discusses and approves and finds ways of getting stipend to support the village elders, we will then implement it without really waiting for a legislative framework so that we can take care of our elders kwa sehemu hii na sehemu zingine. Kuna mambo mengine imesemwa hapa ya mambo ya security ya Nairobi. Mambo ya gangs, we have agreed with IG what to do. Mambo ya administrative units, as I told you, we are going to borrow something from the county government with the boroughs so that then we can have greater governance kwa mambo ya administration na ya police, taking it closer to the people. And we are also going to have to use then the units at the local level to deal with this issue of gangs. Even as the president gets jobs kwa housing, kwa mambo ya climate works, na nakubaliana ule kijana alisema, hii climate works jobs ikue continuous, isitegemee tu president akiwa around. Lakini wewe uko na wasiwasi gani na president bado wako for a long time? So hiyo itapangwa, sitapangwa tukisonga, si namna hiyo? Yeah, so tutasonga tukipanga tukienda mbele. Wacha kwanza tuandike as many young people as possible so that as we confirm where we are going, we will ensure that those issues are dealt with. Mambo ya institutional housing, very important. our OCSs, the person in charge of Amari, the OCS, and one more. There is a suggestion that to start with, all those people must live within the police station. So in the housing program that we are working on, 17,000 houses is going to be for police and 25,000 houses for the prisons. And we're having a conversation with housing to make sure that that is expedited. Because there is land in Nairobi, at least in some of these urban places, we want, even if the police houses are built around one area, one same Nairobi area, ama Kamkunji, ama wherever, for as long as it is within a police station, it can help us accommodate more police officers who can live within this police station. And that program is ongoing. We are going to farm it up in our discussion as we progress kusonga mbele. The same for the prisons. We were discussing with the PS here. We want to make sure that that is expedited, to make sure that the accommodation for our prisons officers is also properly taken care of. Mambo ya security ya universities and colleges is, as I said, we want to increase patrols in Nairobi to deal with muggings and the problems we have in the city. But I agree with you, and we have discussed with the IG, there must be specific and special attention to the universities and the university environment. I think it's important to call for one meeting and to discuss with university management across various counties. We discuss how to improve security within the university, and particularly to deal universities also and colleges in places where they are being targeted by drug peddlers and drug barons, because that is where they know that these are the creme de la creme of the society. So they want to induce them to drugs, and then they become conduits for drugs. And it's important for us to be able to work together, and NACADA has a plan. We'll have a meeting to resolve these issues. Mambo ya lights, mambo ya non-motorized transport system. I'm sure Governor will also say something later when he talks about, when he comes to make his closing remarks. The issue of border. Again, we can only do this with county government, and this is a national problem. I think that once we finish our report, we should discuss this during what do you call, summit. Through the summit, we need to have one policy. But it's important that all the borders are in SACCO, they are licensed within SACCO, they have the right documentation, and I think Nairobi also will benefit. I have the knowledge of Nairobi ITS program that is ongoing, funded by Korean government and Chinese government in my former ministry work, and that will help us to also ensure that we have enough cameras for law enforcement within the city, and hopefully we can get most of the other border riders obeying the law. I think I have responded generally to most of the things. The rest are going to be recorded in the report. If I captured well, there are things to do with, I agree that the chiefs and assistant chiefs, going forward, we need to work out to ensure that they are registered as mediators and conciliators, so that some of the decisions they make, including even the ACCs, the decisions they make becomes binding, so that when community has agreed on something, it can be registered in a court of law that the community has agreed on these issues. Kuliko kwenda through a resolution mechanism that becomes nothing at the end, yet these people have spent time to see how they can bring them together. Mambo ya ngao, ya ngapu, we are working on that. That's why this recruitment is important, so that ngapu can be in place. Mambo ya yes, chiefs also are, apart from building decent officers for the chiefs and the police officers, chiefs also deserve to have a secretary, at least somebody who can put records together with a proper computer in place and so forth. Those are things we are trying to see if they can be helped by the Ministry of ICT to ensure that there is a decent office of a chief. And I want to thank some of the MPs have done a fantastic job in their constituencies. The two of them want me to mention their names, and they will come and mention themselves when they come and stand here. But KJ was whispering to me that in Dagoretti, every chief is fairly taken care of. And it's important that in the remaining places we sort out all these infrastructure-related issues. And then digital hobby, we are working on that. Vehicles, housing, leadership, regional crime trends, mambo ya roads, border challenges, lack of non-motorized transport. I see Kura and Nairobi County government are working hard to create footpaths. But you know, cycling paths are remaining a big challenge because most of the road infrastructure in the city has been encroached and then, you know, grabbed by some characters, and they have kiosks, shops, and all this problem. Then we lose over 1,000 people to pedestrians, almost 1,500 pedestrians in the city, and cyclists ambao wanagongwa to all the time in this city. It is very sad. The safety of our city in terms of transport is a big issue, and we need to continue working on those issues. We will no longer have delays on the training. Once we finish the ACCs 2021, then the rest now will work like a clock. And when we are done also with the chiefs, we will not allow that gap, because then the Jukwaa la Usalama report will enumerate clearly the policy framework ya kuhakikisha kwamba there will be no delays. Mambo ya extortion, mambo ya hii, mambo yote, mambo yote inaangalia bureaucracies, stage management, hiyo ni ya governor, na kiosks kwa streets, and then ODPP. I think in our report also, there is general conversation across the country that when working on a charge sheet, there has to be, the ODPP officers in the county level should be supportive of the police officers, so that then law enforcement becomes something that can be achieved, to ensure that there is no back and forth between office of the DPP and the police, and sometimes it can delay law enforcement. Mambo ya patrols around universities, mambo ya university issues, mobile. I think student ID should be recognized. And going forward, because of technology, I think student IDs also should be upgraded by the universities, so that it has information, including the student's ID, where they don't have ID, national ID, at least if you scan, you can tell it's which student from which university. And it should be very useful going forward with the application of technology. And this is something that can quickly be implemented. Private universities and all these resources. Some of the things you have asked me to pass to my friend CS Migos, CS Duale, so I will make sure that I do so in a collective responsibility within the government. Peace committees and those nyumba kumi, we will also organize all that. Recruitment, during recruitment, it's important also to take care of minority groups. Like the Mama alisema hapa, there are many minority groups in the city that sometimes are ignored in recruitment. And it's important to police recruitment, and other recruitments can accused by media that we should have arrested watchmen who are taking care of business stalls. And they have one rungu, and he's standing beside the business stall. Now, you have organized goons who have come to loot these shops. And you have this man who has put a watchman to stand by his kiosk. Now, as a police officer, which is the lesser evil? Are you going to arrest a watchman who is taking care of a business stall, or you will deal with the looter who has been brought from far to come and loot this business? You know? Yet, all the time they play around with these pictures of this watchman carrying only a rungu and standing in a business stall, and saying that the government of Kenya was working with goons, just because the police officer there did not arrest that person. The police officer is dealing with a person burning a police station, who wants to burn a business, who wants to come and loot and steal. Why would he be asking questions, this watchman with a rungu, standing beside a business stall? You know, we have to be practical, you know, and I think the person who raised this issue was, going forward, once we increase our strength, we will not need those watchmen to stand beside the business stalls, because we are going to improve our IC3 technology in Nairobi. We will be able to capture everybody who will be involved in looting. And we did our best last time, and we charged over 3,000 people. They're unprecedented. We charged so many people who are looting businesses in this city. And going forward, we must have also an honest conversation about public order. Why are business people in Nairobi suffering? Mama mboga, mtu ya boda boda, mtu anafanya biashara yake, because people disagreed politically. People disagree, then the people who suffer are people who are offending. I mean, that day, when the last Maandamano happened of 25th, and then for Sabasaba, I went to OTC and visited all those places. I was very, very saddened, because there was direct and deliberate looting that is really unacceptable, and banning of businesses in OTC and other places, and banning of police stations in some places like Dagoretti. Of course, it was on the side of Kikuyu side and so forth. This is something that we must deal with and deal with decisively. So, going forward, we'll be making suggestions to the Public Order Act to see how protests in future can be respectful of other people's rights. Yeah, na mambo mengi sana yenye mmeandika. Siwache niwachie hapo ama namna gani? Yeah, ama mtaka niongee the whole day? Sasa hata mimi nimechoka jameni. So, nawashukuru sana. I will still come back to close the meeting in 1 minute. But now let me take this opportunity to invite Mheshimiwa KJ, yeah, to come here and give one of our MCAs to speak on behalf of the MCAs, depending on whom they have agreed as MCAs. And you say, you invite your colleague to say one thing, and we finish. Pigia